Hello, hello, and welcome to Tomes of Isolation. I am your host, Roxanne Thompson, as we prepare to dive back into the solo campaign that is Alone Against the Dark by Chaosium Incorporated for their Call of Cthulhu 7th edition setting. This is our 6th foray into this madhouse. And this is our 3rd character to attempt it. As I've said before, this is one of those, it is a campaign and set up as such that it's still considered a success if you manage to save the world or stop the end of the world. I guess those are kind of the same thing. If you manage to stop the end of the world before you lose your 13th investigator. So this adventure comes in with 4 pre-generated characters. I am on the 3rd. Anyhow, if this is your first time with us on Tomes of Isolation, this is our solo dungeon show that we've been doing in quarantine and in isolation while the global pandemic continues to ravage this fair country. And we can't have all of our friends over to record games every week like we were for a while there. So this is Tomes of Isolation, and it will continue as long as we're in isolation, perhaps longer. But like I said, this is the 6th time we've gone into this adventure. So I'm going to use, and some of the people in chat we're all going to refer to things that have happened in the last 5 weeks. I'm going to give a real brief recap. I'm going to give people about 5-10 minutes to kind of get in and get settled before I say too much. I haven't seen anybody pop up and say hi in the chat yet, besides myself. So, and I need help when I play this game. Tomes of Isolation is all centered and built on community interaction and chat interaction because this isn't just my character. We are going through this dungeon together. And so in the style of a choose-your-own-adventure role-playing game, I'm asking the chat to help me decide what I believe her name is Lydia this week, what Lydia gets to do. Oh, Sean is supposedly here, and so is David. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Say hi, guys. Please. So why the chat says, welcome to the chat. Please say hi and prepare to help me navigate the winding ways alone against the dark. But yeah, it's been fun. But six different episodes of this, I'm kind of getting frustrated with this campaign. So one of the things that you can do during the show at any point, well, thank you, Sean. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. I understand that people have other stuff to do, but at least pop in and say hi. I want to see who's here, and my update or my list of who's in chat doesn't say anybody but the bots. So, and myself. But one thing that I did set up, I believe tonight, is if you use the chat command !play poll, it will give you essentially it'll show you how to vote in a poll that I'm running tonight to see who to see what we want to do next week. If we want to come back to oh, that's fine. Thank you, David. If we want to come back to Alone Against the Dark next week, or if we want to move on to something else. So I will just put that in there right now. !play poll. I see you, Sean. Thanks. So yeah, so what game should we play next week? Vote in our poll now. Use chat command !vote, and then either !Cthulhu for more Alone Against the Dark, or !Suede to move on to Crater Lake Chronicles. So if you want to vote for that, do both commands in one line. So !vote, !Cthulhu, or !vote or I'm sorry, !vote or !Suede to see if we want to move on. And I will check that after the stream tonight. It's my first time running a poll, so I don't know how that is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot. So, brief recap of where we've been. Let's see. We started with Professor Grunwald. His friend, Professor Gliere from Miskatonic University, had gone to Athens, Greece, sent him a telegraph saying that he had been arrested. When Professor Grunwald then left for Greece and was killed on the cruise by some shady Egyptians. Quite plainly. His friend, after not hearing from him for 3 days, his friend Ernest Holt decides that if Grunwald was interested in something and left him a note or, told him about it, then it must be serious. So he decides to pack up his gear from his place in New York. He gets on the same boat and he heads to Athens as well to investigate the missing or the disappearance of Professor Grunwald and the arrest of Professor Gliere. When he gets there, he finds no news of Professor Grunwald, but he does learn from the constable there in Athens that Professor Gliere died in prison, committed suicide while he was in jail. One of the guards told us that was probably not the case, that there was some weird stuff going on, and that he kept talking about the Carpathos device. And then so we set off on the journey to discover more about the Carpathos device, which was on its way to Cairo at the time. And so we went to Cairo. And we were in Cairo for a few days between the cruise from New York to Athens and then the time between Athens and Cairo, and all the way until he ended up going to a pyramid that the path led him to. I believe it was the Lost Temple of Akhenaten, or known more colloquially or currently in the game's present day as the Pyramid of Tel El Amarna. He survived something like 6 or 7 attempts on his life before finally succumbing to becoming, or he got stuck in a pit in the pyramid and could not get out, and it was having acid poured over him. So, joy of joys, Ernest had a bad day. We moved on last week to Lydia Lau, who is a reporter for the New York Sun, a former student of Professor Grunwald, and a friend of Ernest Holt. She is 23, female, slight build, dark hair, piercing eyes, and yeah, so she is off to Egypt. She had just gotten to Cairo when we left off. The date now, after Professor Grunwald's story started September 1st of 1931, Lydia's tale left off last week on, I believe I have circled here, 6 p.m. on Wednesday, the 21st of October, 1931. So this game has a time tracker that I have to keep track of while we play, and I've been a little bit loosey-goosey with that because it gets really boring to sit here and discuss, how much time we're taking to do things. I am keeping note of it, though, and I'm not trying to break any rules. I'm just not going to account for every day conversationally. So, according to my notes of notes, we took the train. Let's see. Were we still in Alexandria? No, we were in Cairo. Okay, I have entry number 297, and we were in Cairo. So let me flip over to 297 in our handy-dandy book here. And I believe it's what we had decided to do was go spend some time at the university in Cairo. Or we had just spent time at the university. We wanted to go to the museum, I believe is what we were doing. And yes, they were shady Egyptians. There was a short man who tried to kill me and a tall man in a cowl that also tried to kill me and succeeded with one particular character. So 297. Somehow I went from 270 to 331 without seeing any of the rest. Okay. Okay, so we had just finished talking to Professor Jahark at the Cairo University. Let me see if I've got a name here. I've got several little printouts. Maybe not several, but I have a few. We were at Al-Azhar University, and we had just finished talking to Jahark, I believe was his name, as the university closed. So we're going to go find food very quickly because you have to eat in this game twice a day, and you can't change that, or you can't skip, really, because you can make it up one day, but you can't keep making it up, and you can't preload. So no preloading carbs in this. Let's see here. I'm going to make this bigger for myself, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring up our inset camera. I had some dice in there for us. Our goal is really to get back to the pyramid. We had been in the pyramid. We'd started this really cool puzzle. I'm just going to show you. It's not technically a puzzle, but it's cut apart like a puzzle, and you have to put it back together. But we had this really cool puzzle that we were working on. This was as far as we got. We placed 3 pieces, and then he died here at the bottom of this shaft that you can see on piece titled L. At the bottom of that white shaft is where he fell down there and somebody started pouring acid on him. So bad day. But we're going to go back here. No worries, Amanda. No worries. I gotta have my chatters, and that's my best friend there in chat, and her son and her fiance are all in there, and then our good buddy Sean, who is on many of our shows with us, is in there, and I'm sure there are other people in there. We see you. We love you. Thank you for supporting the show. So, she gonna eat. She gonna go to bed. We're going to start up now on October 22nd. October 22nd of October of 1931. Just 1 second. I'm a little thirsty. Talk amongst yourselves. Everybody knows you're the best friend. Y'all, she's one of the few people that is not blood kin that has put up with me for over 30 years. Let's see here. Or 30 years, roughly. Let's see here. You guys, y'all just get to see me once or twice a week. Although this week, I'll be announcing later, you get to see me 3 times this week if you choose to. So, in the morning, I think we're going to eat our breck. Have some brekkie. Then we're going to head over to, what was I looking for, y'all? The Cairo Museum. And it is before October 30th. They open at 9. Kinda. Yeah. Yeah, far back enough. I guess we are bloodkin. It just takes a minute to get there. It's been filtered through 3 generations before it gets to us. Let's see. So yes, we are going to the Cairo Museum, which is entry 206. So we're going to consider this. Sorry guys, I got to flip here because I didn't have a quick link to it on the page that I was on. 206, Cairo Museum. So we wanted to go here because we had some meta-knowledge. And in these kinds of things, I think meta-knowledge is okay. Because I would hate for Lydia to have to dig through and relearn everything and go through every single conversation the exact same way and get the information that Ernest Holt had when you and I are all here and we have been through it now one other time. So, at the museum, I know we're specifically looking to find out some information, more information about the pyramid if we can, and perhaps locate the amulet of Nodens or Nodens. If anybody knows how to pronounce that, I'll type it in. It is Nodens.
Because my character,
I'm gonna.
I had the spell of summoning Nodens in.
Yeah, and he's in the investigator's handbook because I was looking. I was actually looking at him as a possibility for a bad guy for Bunkhouse B on Thursday.
Oh.
But I'm not. But he looks, honestly, y'all, if you don't have the Call of Cthulhu Investigator's Guide, I would highly first, if you do, look up Nodens in the Deities Guide or the Beasts and Aliens and Artifacts or whatever. Definitely worth it because, honestly, he looks like Jesus riding, I think, a dolphin with a clamshell on its back. Like, go ahead just for grins. John, behind you is the Investigator's Guide. If you'll hand it to me.
Now myself.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I see it, I'll tell you what I expect. I expect to see it painted on the side of like one of those old panel vans in the 70s. Let's see. Sidetrack. Let's look at some cool art. Or as I want to say when describing Nodens and his amazingness, some bitchin' art. Let's see here. Oh, almost there. Sathagwa, Rontigoth, Nodens. Okay. Oh, well, they don't have them Well, I'm going to read you the description, because I guess they just show him as Jesus. Jesus with a third eye. So there's Nodens in the book, but let me read you his description, because I had a beautiful mental image that I apparently envisioned so tangibly that I replaced it on here. And upon dolphins' backs was balanced a vast crenulate shell, wherein rode the grey and awful form of prival Nodens, lord of the great abyss. Then hoary Nodens reached forth a wizened hand, and helped Olney and his host into the vast shell. And that was a quote from Lovecraft's story, The Strange High House in the Mist, which I do not recall ever reading. I'm sure I've listened to a reading of it, but it didn't stick out. And honestly, I must have missed that he was on the back of dolphins in a big old crenulate shell. Could the amulet be in Germany? It could be. We need to figure out where Ernest Holt learned about Germany so we can get that information. Was it at a newspaper? I feel like it was at a newspaper. Because it was talking about somebody. We might have to call one of the other newspaper offices. But, as it were, we are at the museum, and our choices at the museum this morning. If we don't find the amulet, the only reason that we're talking about this amulet is because when Ernest died, if he'd had it, it could have stopped it. And so I kind of think we should have all the tools. Cairo Museum. The museum is open 9 a.m. to noon and from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. daily. 3 exhibits in this great museum might interest you. For treasures from the pyramids, or tombs of the ancients, or the Carpathos device, or we could interview the curator, Ahmet Ke. Now, Ernest had interviewed him, but it didn't go as well as we'd wanted. So I do think that that is something that we should consider, since Lydia is built as a investigative reporter or a journalist. So she might be able to pull some magic out of a hat for that. So I'm pretty sure it was because of. I'm pretty sure it was because of a newspaper. We read like a headline or something. All right, so I've got one vote for interview. So we talked to the curator first thing. Make sure he's there. That would be awesome. I'm going to go and click it. There is a delay, of course. There's like a 15 to 20 second delay between what you see and from when I say it. So I will give a little bit of time. You got any music for me, John?
Yes, it should be up already.
Okay, well, I have it all turned down real low.
Now you're in a museum, correct?
Yep. This works. This is like people talking.
All right. I'm actually curious, do I have... Oh. About actually have a museum.
Nice. So John is off to the side being my sound guy. I'm actually running the production station here, so I keep looking down so I can see the screen in the chat. But he runs some sounds to the soundboard over here. So we're going to go ahead and do the interview first, and we're going to flip on over to entry number 302. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Ahmet Ke is in and will gladly see foreign visitors. So honored to have you call, he murmurs. What do you wish to do? Examine the Carpathos device? Ask that the device be returned to Athens? Ask about Gliere? Or do something else? Pick one, write it down, and then go to 3:30. Oh, remember we got borked on this. What do we want to say? I don't remember what it was. Let me see if I wrote it down in my notes. If anybody else remembers, cool. If not, we can always come back and see him another day. Or we cheat. The cheat. Wrong game. Bin Ozin at Al-Azhar with diagram of device. It's the only note I have. And Al-Azhar is the university, so we need to find Bin Ozin when we go back there. Does anybody remember?
I feel like...
Did I write it? Did I literally write it down? Let me see.
You never know, but I thought we would...
Oh, we chose to examine the device, and I don't think he let us do it.
There was a roll involved.
Was there a roll involved?
I believe so. I might be wrong, but...
I don't remember.
Chat, do you remember?
I don't think they do. I've been asking, and I don't see anybody... So we're not going to say examine the device, because I think that ended up poorly. He like had us dragged out or something. Like he attacked us or something like that. It was really, it ended poorly. So I think I'm going to go and we're going to see. Well, I know we don't want to ask about Gliere. Or did we ask that the device, but no, I kind of remember, because he says... I think he might say that you can look at it. He laughs at you and slams the door, essentially, if you ask that it be returned to Athens. He won't talk about Gliere, but he might do something else. So you know what? Because we've done this before, we're just going to click on it. 3:30. Yes. If you pick something else at 3:02, or if you can make a successful fast roll talk, go to 3:50. So we picked something else. Because he literally says, examine it, return it, impossible, he laughs. And I have never heard of this Gliere person. He escorts you out, but if you pick something else at 3:02, or if you make a successful fast talk roll, go to 3:50. So, we're going to go to 3:50. Something about him teases your suspicions. What is it? You can try only one of the following rolls once. So, I can only do this one time. Do I want to do a psychology roll? For a reminder, my psychology is 40. My listen is a 35. My spot hidden is a 60, and if I fail the rolls, return to 206 or go to any Cairo location on the Egypt location table. So, I'm leaning towards spot hidden just because it's my best. I can try the others, though, if chat feels like that is a viable choice. Psychology or spot? Okay, yeah, and they all go to 3 different entries, so whatever I glean from this will be... Okay, I'm getting spot. So let's give a spot a try. I should have grabbed different dice, because I don't know if I trust these ones, but we're here now. Let's see here. We're going to give it a shot. So, spot again was a 60. I need to roll under a 60. And I rolled... Tell me, is that an 80? I rolled an 87. Or is that an 81? What are you? I think that's an 81.
You say 81.
Yeah, that's an 81. So, I could spend 19 of my luck to make it. I do want different dice, though. If you get a chance to stand up,
Oh, yeah.
I've got my dice, my good dice are over here. I'm going to mute you. So, shall we spend 19 luck? No? No luck? Okay. Because currently my luck is at 60. So spending 19 would put me, what, at 41? There's a little brown, my little wooden case. Yeah, that. This is fine, though. I'll keep this just in case. I need more. In case my dice continue to betray me. I'm good with not spending it. We can always try to come back. Well, it doesn't say once per day. This is like the only chance with her that we have to do this. I'm going to do a little test roll here. Oh, look at that. That would have been a 4. Sorry, my husband's looking out the window and I'm like, what's happening? So going once, going twice on do we go ahead and spin the luck or do we wait? Or do we just let it go? John says spin the luck.
Spin the luck.
Spin the luck.
Spin the luck.
Okay, we'll spend it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it could be worser.
Ain't never coming back this way again. Oh no.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 21. Okay, so I'm at 31 luck, but that's still fine. I've had characters be less than that and make it for a while. For a while. I mean, I could always just employ the optional luck rule where at the end of the session, should she remain alive, I just give her some... I roll a luck improvement roll. So, spot hidden. If successful, go to 336. Scattered among the books on Kez shelves are some ominously ancient tomes bound in suspect hides. He also seems to be doing his best to stand in front of the internal door in his office. If you want to ask him what's behind the door, I can go to 346, or I can leave him, return to the library, or leave. Do we ask about the door? Of course we ask about the door. I am an investigative reporter. 346. You ask what's behind the door, and Kerr replies, nothing! Somehow you don't believe him. To pull out your gun and threaten Ket to show you what's behind the door, go to 370. Or I can leave. I mean, we've already burned some luck. Do we want to just shoot the guy? Do we want to threaten him with bullets? Show me what's in there. But we might not ever get to see anything else. Yeah, it did. It escalated super quickly. Threaten him? Okay, cool. Go to 370. Kem moves aside, letting you open the door. As you open it, you see a man smile wryly at you. And then his face seems to melt, changing into a bubbling mess with a myriad of alien eyes staring hungrily from each bubble. The creature extends part of its body to try to encircle you. Your ears fill with a gurgling sound, a laughing gurgling sound. Make a sanity roll. Alright, here we go, y'all. Let's make this sanity roll. My sanity is a 60. That's a 68. What would I lose? I would lose 1d20 sanity points. Well, let's just see. I'm not upset yet. I ain't upset yet. 4. I didn't even go temporarily insane. This guy is amateur. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to prove it, that is a 4. Boink. All right. So I lost 4 sanity points. Yeah, nat 20. That would be the worst. All right. If you go temporarily or permanently insane, go to this entry. I didn't. If you fire a gun or otherwise attack with material weapons, such attacks have no effect. Make a dex roll. Alright, let's make a dex roll. Friends. My dex is 65. And I rolled a 49, so I made it. If successful, you leap back and escape into the hall. Return to 206. Alright, well now we're just investigating the museum. So, good to know. Ahmet Ket is a jerk. I believe that What's-His-Face learned... my last character, I believe Ernest learned that Ahmet Ket was part of the cult of Akhenaten, or the cult of Aten. So, good to know. Sorry. I'm gonna support my own stinking stream and pop in. Woo, I'm here.
Yay.
Woo. Not who. Woo. Dun-dun-dun. Let's see. Okay, so now that we're just in the museum, yeah, onward. We're fine. I only lost 4 points of sanity. I'm completely sane. For treasures from the pyramids, or tombs of the ancients, or the Carpathos device, where would we like to go? John says Carpathos device. Do I have any other votes in the chat? Do I?
You had a small spasm?
Did I? Oh, I think he's talking about my 4 points of sanity.
Oh.
I don't think I did. Carpet hose. Is that autocorrect?
Carpathos.
Okay, let's go look at the Carpathos device. 209. The Carpathos device is there. I have a picture of it. I need to see your carpet hose, Mr. Ket, with your weird door and your weird eye beast, or whatever he was. So there, I always go the wrong way. There's the Carpathos device. Somewhere it says that it's like an octagon or something, like it's this, and that is not an octagon. So I don't know if it was talking about something else or what, but that was the Carpathos device. The Carpathos device is there with interesting background information. The device's appearance is remarkably modern. Its sheen reminds you of aluminum, but the real metal is obviously of great strength. Its glass enclosure seems to be electrically guarded. They're taking no chances of repeat theft. That's why Professor Gliere, our friend of a friend of a friend, was arrested, because he attempted to steal the Carpathos device in Athens. So, need a refresher on the Carpathos device? If so, go to 168. You can return to 206, or do you have other ideas about the Carpathos device? Do we have other ideas? Spoiler, I'm pretty sure one of the ideas is, do we want to try to steal it right now or come back later and steal it? Do we? Do we have ideas? Okay. If we do, go to 211. Having come so far, having seen death and danger, you know the fate of the world could very well depend on you. How could you fail but to try to steal the Carpathos device and stop it getting into the wrong hands? If you want to I can attempt the theft now, or I can hide until the doors close and then steal it, or I can think better of it and leave. Go all steely. Well, do we want to go and look at some other things and then decide if we want to stick around and hide and steal it later? Yeah, one of the options is hide until the doors close. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I just...
You don't know what to do, John? You don't know how to help me, do you?
My thing is...
I'm imploring you, Chet. Go look at things and then
I
hide.
kind of agree with that.
Go look at things and then hide.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. All right, so we're going to go back. Because, I mean, we can always go back to the Carpathos device. So, treasures of the pyramids or tombs of the ancients? Go look at things and then steal? Do we want treasures or tombs? Ancients. Those ancients. 236. A cutaway model of the Pyramid of Akhenaten is on display. Make a successful intelligence roll, a luck roll, or a Cthulhu Mythos roll. I have none in Cthulhu Mythos. I can attempt each roll only once. But it doesn't say that I can only attempt it during the... excuse me. Gosh, guys. Literally, I do not yawn until I get on camera. And then I think it's because I'm talking all the time and I'm not breathing properly. My intelligence is 70. Let's see what happens. That's a 13. 13. So, made that successful intelligence roll on 252. The exposed interior of the pyramid is much too small. There must be something else in there. Return to 236. So he feels that, or she feels that what she's seeing as a cutaway, that there's more things in there, and they've just built this model to belie that, essentially. So let's try this luck roll. My luck, again, is a wallop on 39 after our little luck use earlier. Didn't make it. That's a 68. I don't have Cthulhu Mythos, so we can't make that one either. So we know that we believe there's something else going on in that pyramid not matching what the cutaway shows. So let's go back to 206. And let's go ahead and check out the treasures of the pyramids. You see household paraphernalia, combs, and tools, all of gold and silver. An empty sarcophagus contains a placard explaining that when the Lord died, his slaves were killed in order that they might continue to serve him in the afterlife. So we have the choice to see Akhenaten's amulet, try to decipher the Egyptian hieroglyphics. I do have hieroglyphs. Or just leave. So do we want to see the amulet? We did look at this before. I'm just gonna show it to y'all, or talk about it. It was just a little amulet that had his symbol on it, and we've talked about his symbol before. It basically looks like that. It's just four triangles, four triangles meeting at the apex. They kind of look like one of those old-timey windmills that you'd see in like Don Quixote or something. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the amulet, and then we can go and look at the hieroglyphs. You notice a picture bearing the label Akhenaten's amulet. That's exactly what I drew there, apparently. Yeah, that was when Ernest saw it. So I can do an intelligence or art craft roll to make a sketch of it. I have both. 38, even though that's cocked, we're taking it. 38 is a pass. So I copied the sketch back to 290. Now we're going to try to decipher the hieroglyphs. Now this is where things are going to get a little touchy. I only have a 20% in Egyptian, in hieroglyphics specifically. Ooh, and that's a 66. Now, if someone wants to donate like 100 bits, or even 500 bits, we could re-roll it. I'm just saying. Nobody's listening. But it's there. $5? Throw me $5, I'll re-roll it. I know that doesn't sound like a deal for anybody but me, but I'm throwing it out there. Oh, no? Okay. Gotta shoot my shot. It's 2020. If I don't shoot it now, never shoot it at all. So let's go back to 206. And that was everything that we could do. So, let me mark off all these time units. Time units. All right. So we went to the to the museum, and at this time we ate in here. We did something here. Here. I'm gonna say, based on what I remember about this museum, we're gonna say it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. Wait, when's Cairo? We'll just say it's noon then. We're gonna go eat again. Ta-da, we went to eat. So now it's 1. Get a subscription and I'll give Roxy 20 luck. Guys, you heard it from him, not me. It's $5, 20 luck. No. All right, where are we going now? Are we going to the bazaar? Do we want to make some phone calls? Because if we make phone calls, maybe we can find that thing about Germany. I mean, we could take her straight out. I mean, I was kind of excited to do the pyramid thing, but I'd kind of be excited to go to Bremen, too. There's not a whole lot going on there, but there is a steamship. And it will take us to the Antarctica base camp, I think. Bremerhaven. Let's see. Der Freischütz Inn and Geschäft Frankhausen? Krankhausen. House of Krank? I don't know. I don't speak German. I kind of know Norwegian. A little bit. So, do we want to continue, or do we want to make some phone calls? Because we can... Actually, there's a phone call here at the museum that I could use. Or no, maybe that's saying... I think I can use a phone anywhere. I think I can use a phone, like, especially like in houses or stuff. Or we can just go back to my hotel and use it. But to get the information... It's a very strange system. I don't understand exactly what they mean with the phone calls, but let's see here. Let's get to a phone and let's call the New York Sun, the Athens one, because wasn't there one? I feel like there was. Yeah, there's the European edition of the New York Sun, which I feel would talk about the German expedition. So let's go ahead and make a little phone call to the New York Sun. European edition. When you browse through the newspaper, you notice 3 items. Ahmet Ked, director of the Cairo National Museum, eagerly awaits the arrival of the Carpathos device on loan from Athens. You also have the casket-bearing Professor Glier, the academic thief from Miskatonic University, has been placed aboard the Urania for New York. A memorial service has been scheduled in Arkham, Massachusetts, United States of America. A ring-a-ding-a-ding. Ring-ding-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. I hate that song. The Starkweather Moor expedition nears readiness as the Dark Sea, the name of a ship, heads for Bremen, Germany. Once there, final preparations include reinforcing the hull for the treacherous journey into the ice floe surrounding Antarctica. If it is before September 15th, which it is not, go to any Athens location. So, that is where we learned about it. So, in the European edition of the New York Sun, which is silly, but, you know, what do I know? Let me jot down a note. European edition of New York Sun, and it's the Starkweather Moor. So that is an option for us to pursue. So, thoughts, friends, family, kin? Do we stay in Cairo and attempt to get back to the pyramid? Or do we visit Bremen and make our way to potentially Antarctica. What's that face? I'm getting a face. Bremen? Antarctica. Well, let me see how we can do that. 2 votes is enough for me. I mean, Amanda already suggested that.
Let's just run away.
Let's just run away. Well, you know, I'm wondering if maybe we should, since this is the Cult of Aten that wants to use it, maybe the pyramid is kind of final boss location. So maybe I've just been like racing to the boss, and I haven't even fought the mini boss that's going to teach me the mechanics of the big boss. So let's take a little walk then over to let's go to, where is Egypt? Excuse me. Let's go to Alexandria Harbor and Rail Station. Open 25 hours a day. Okay, a ship leaves for Bremen every Monday and Friday at 4 p.m. and arrives in Bremerhaven exactly 144 hours later. So, Bremerhaven, or Friday. I don't know why I wanted to say that again. It's kind of fun, though. Bremerhaven. October. Joy of joys, it is Thursday. So, we could kick around until 4 p.m. tomorrow and take that boat. Does that sound like a plan? Is there anything we want to do in Egypt before we depart? I mean, we can look at some stuff in the marketplace, or we could go back and hide in the museum and try to steal things.
You don't mean I say steal, but what does the chat want to do?
You want to try to steal something?
Oh, I'm all about let's go back and steal it.
Let's go back and steal it. We'll see what the chat wants to do. Steal things. Steely steal. Okay. Okay. Well, then we're going to go pop back over to the museum and we're going to hide. So, let's do her. One second. I just realized something, 205. Okay, so I actually was looking at that wrong. We will have to get back up to Alexandria to get on the boat, but that's fine because it only takes an hour to get from Cairo to Alexandria. So we'll just leave. We'll leave for Alexandria at noon tomorrow. So let's see what happens. And if we die here, well, it was good playing with y'all. Let's see. Okay, so we're going back into that museum. Excuse me, museum. I'm here. Where'd it go? 206. So it's still not the 30th. Something changes on the 30th. We're going to look at the Carpathos device. We have other ideas. We want to hide until the doors close. 281. Oh. You need a successful stealth roll to stay here after the doors close. My stealth, Lydia's stealth, as it were, is a 50. So, average, lower side of average. $33. We did it. I have 39 luck right now. So, I passed the stealth roll. I'm going to mark off the waiting time and then go to 280. So, we actually don't have too long to wait. So, we're just going to wait until 6 o'clock. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, boo. T-T. Alright. 280. The toughened glass around the Carpathos device has 10 hit points. It breaks when a total of 10 points of damage has been inflicted upon it. You may use anything to break the glass. But if you use your fists in order to damage it, you lose 1 hit point for each blow because it's electrified. Perhaps you have a tool or weapon or something you can throw at it. Let me see. She has a revolver, a medium knife, another revolver, or a baton. So I think we're gonna baton that thing with our little club. It says when you break it, go to one location unless you waited until night, which we did. So then we'll go to a different location. So yeah, we're going to baton it. Let's baton it. Do I have to roll to hit? It just says you may use anything. I mean, it's really not dodging me or anything. Yeah, I'll roll to hit anyway. My roll to hit with that is a 45. Ooh! 98. But it doesn't say that, like I guess I just whiffed badly. Steel myself. Got a little jumpy. I was afraid that the electrification was going to be an issue. Oh my gosh. That's a 97, y'all. I'm still nervous about getting electrified. We're just going to add some extra time. Is that an 88? Okay, these dice are out.
Are meant for a different game.
These dice, yeah. They're out. Get out of here. No one likes you. How about you? Do you see what it is? Has it showed up yet?
There we go.
After all of quit stalling.
That's pretty awesome.
After all of those 90s and 80s, I got a 1. So that's a critical in this game. That's like a super extreme critical success. So I'm going to double my damage. I don't care. Even though that doesn't matter in this game, we're going to have some fun. So with my baton, I get to roll 1d6 plus my damage bonus, which is a whole lot of none. 3 times 2 is 6. Or wait, do I just roll 2d6 there? Well, not that one. Hey, it was the same thing. 5. So 8 times 2 is 16. That's what we're doing. Because you know what? This is a show, and you guys need to be entertained, not watch me roll all these dice 1,000 times. So, we did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, yeah. Do you have a sound effect of glass breaking over there? And then some...
I wish this had a little bit easier to get to.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. Oh, no.
What?
Well, it's 2 sentences. Well, there's nobody in here anymore. I'm at night. No. No, there's still people in the chat. Okay. There's nobody in the museum. But here. But what is that sound you hear? Terror clutches your heart. Go to 263.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I think I'm about to die. Let's go to 263. In the dim yellow nightlights of the museum, you can scarcely believe your eyes. The place has come alive with undead in many forms, from human mummies to megatheria in the natural history wing, all bizarrely returned to life. Everywhere you see the ominous, jerky shuffle of half-dead things. Instinctively, you understand that these entities want to snuff out your life and baffle your purpose. You edge quietly along the halls, intent upon your escape from this hair-raising peril. To escape, you need to make successful spot, hidden, dodge, and intelligence rolls respectively, without missing any of the rolls. Each time you miss a roll in the series, you take 1 hit point in damage from the outstretched claws and talons which sweep at the sounds of your footsteps. Then you must start over the series of rolls until you succeed with a series. I know, yeah. They want to baffle my purpose and snuff out my life. All right, y'all. So what has to happen is I have to make a series of successful rolls. I need to make 3 rolls in one go of a successful spot hidden, a successful dodge, and a successful intelligence roll. So, in that order. So spot hidden is a 60. It's a 42. We're good. My dodge is piss. It's 40. And I rolled an 86, so I take a hit point. I take a hit point of damage. All right. Something swiped me. Gotta do this again. So, we're still okay. Got 9 hit points. We still have an opportunity to survive. So back to the spot hidden. 31, we passed. Dodge, 40. Oh, that's not a 0. That's a 100. That's a critical fail. So I'm going to say that I take 2 points of damage on that one. Dang. Back to spot. 43 passes. God, 70, I'm not going to be able to make that dodge roll. That's another hit. 61. That's a fail. Okay, guys, I'm down to 5 hit points. What? Oh, yeah, if anyone wants to buy a sub, I get a reroll. $43 passes. 90. Dang! Can I buy a sub, John?
Technically, you did earlier.
I did. I did last week. During Spycraft. Okay. I am down to my last 4 hit points. If we die here, it was worth it.
Truth.
56 passes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Do we try different dice or do we keep up with these? That's the choice. That's what I'm asking. Do I continue with this set of dice? Or do I switch?
I'd stick with it. That's just me.
One more time. Oh, one more time and no dice. You said stick with him? John said stick with him. We'll stick with it one more time. See what happens. 86. It does not like that dodge roll. Okay, we're switching to new dice. Let's try these again. 85, no. I'm almost to the point where I can't escape. So we're gonna do another pair of new dice. And just because it's pretty early in the evening and we're all friends here, we'll just rewind this little scene and we'll go back to it before I stole it. And we'll leave.
Makes sense.
44 passes. 40 passes. And then I need to make an intelligence roll. That's a 70. Oh, it's 79! The best one! It was the best one. That puts me at 1 hit point. I'm going to tell you this right now. Even if I succeed this next series of rolls, I have to take 1d4 of additional damage in my escape. Because I dived through a plate glass window. So do we just want to and not hide and not try to steal the device? Or do we take it as it comes? Reroll the dice are cocked? Reroll the dice are cocked. I'm taking it. I gotta get better than a 70. Oh, dropped one. Well, it's a 10 and a 7. Woo! All right. So now I have to take a d4. Oh, a d4 plus 1. So I'm taking 1 no matter what. I'm taking 2.
Take 2.
Take 2?
Take 2.
Just take 2?
Just take 2.
Because I gave myself an extra hit earlier. We can say that I have.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't have to take that critical fail.
That's right. I didn't have to. I didn't have to do that. So we made it. We're going to say I made it. We all know what happened here. We're all good with it. Go to 274 if you survive. Police cars come screeching up to the museum. You have several options. You should think about them all before choosing one. You can attempt a stealth roll. And if successful, I get away. I can admit what I've done. Try to make a successful fast talk or persuade roll to pass through the growing cordon of police. Or if I want to try something else, I can write it down and go to 249. But I don't want to try something else because I'm not creative enough to figure out what I want to... Yeah, I cannot be baffled or snuffed. So, stealth. Be honest, my stealth is a 50. My persuade is a 50. My fast talk is a 60. Do we want to sneak away or walk through? Fast talk. Because it's a little better. Could try to fast talk. Do we think that the cops will buy my fast talk? A success is not necessarily a success, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Why can't you sneak?
I can. Stealth is an option. But my stealth is a 50. My fast talk is a 60. Yeah, 60.
So whoever's in is the tiebreaker between... Oh, we got 2 fast talks.
Yep.
Okay, wait a second. Nah, let's go for fast talk.
Yep, it's Levi and Amanda both say fast talk. Okay. Do I get new dice? Chat. I'm digging some out just in case. If I die here, it is all your fault. I can really make it Amanda's fault. Let me find the dice that she bought me. You know I lying. I mean, I might roll them, but I ain't gonna blame you. Where are they? Found one. That's not the one. That one's ugly. Oh, here it is. Where are the ones I got you? Those worked before. You're right, they did. So here we go. Looking for something less than a 60. I can't read it from here. I'm just going to slide this in. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5. We fast talk like pros.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Come on, open up. Open up, book. My iPad went to sleep. If you succeed with either roll, go to 301. If you're here, you got away. Go to 293 unless you want to make things easy on yourself and give up. If you do, go to 315. I don't want to get up. I got away. 293. I need to go to a hospital. Oh, is it on the same page? You have the Carpathos device. What will you do with it? Write down your intention and then go to 249. I want to stash it. I want to stash it in my luggage and take it back to Athens.
Yeah.
Or Bremen, for that matter. Wonder if things follow me if I keep it. So what do we want to do? I have to write it down. It wants me to be honest. Gotta be honest.
So boring.
Keep it safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Stash the carpet hose. The carpet Hosea. Bless ye the word of the Lord. And the prophet Hosea. So keep it safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. I'm gonna give it to Frodo. 249. I don't like this.
What happens?
Okay, see, I wish they would give you options. But then again, I would also say I wish they didn't. So, it literally is anything else or destroy it. So just for Grin's class, of those two choices, what do we want to do? Destroy it and prevent the end of the world. Remember, I had that whole thing about whether or not this depended on me, that this device was obviously bad because all these people have already died. I've been attacked. I can do anything else, or I can destroy it. I'm going to let you guys choose. Okay, I have one vote for destroy it. Destroy it like a good Frodo. Okay. Does anybody have a different opinion? Levi says destroy as well. Okay. I'm going to read you the whole thing. I'm going to read you what we would like, because we had initially said to keep it safe. If you wrote down anything other than trying to destroy the Carpathos device, the device is reclaimed by the authorities. As for you, the police arrest you and you spend several years in prison before being released and returning to America, and then I would go to a different entry. Unless I surrendered it to the police, in which I would go to a different number. If I tried to destroy the Carpathos device, you find that it is impervious to your hasty assaults. But the Nile is only a few paces distant. You steal a felucca and slowly drift downstream. Sometime later, you judge it safe and drop the heavy device into the Nile itself so that it will sink down into the deep silts that have lain there undisturbed for millennia. Later, the police find you and capture you. You serve 7 years in an Egyptian prison, only to return home penniless, disgraced, and without home or friends. Well, they all died. Your life is ruined, and until you die, you never know whether you did the right thing in Cairo all those years before. But you did, of course. Well done. You saved the world. The end. So technically, if we destroy it, we won.
Wow. Without ever going to the pyramid.
No, because we just kept the device from getting there.
Yeah.
So that's an ending.
Yeah.
If we'd gotten caught, let's see what it says. We would have failed. You have failed. Depending where you are, your experiences vary. Coastline lines suffer dramatic flooding and panic ensues. Scientists claim the Earth has somehow shifted on its axis and terrible consequences will follow. Indeed, they do. Storms of primeval force sweep the continents. Melting polar ice fuels the flooding while terrifying ice storms strike at the heart of civilization. Once it begins, much of the world of humankind is destroyed within days. The city of the old ones has a new master, and the whole world pays for your failure. Your revolver has a bullet in the chamber. Whether you choose to use it or not, it is the end. So either way, we were at the end.
But so, would you say we won?
Yes, because I feel like we deserved the choice to destroy it. Because that just didn't even occur. It was never, as far as anywhere else I saw, that was not even suggested anywhere. So I felt like it only was fair for us in the chat to have the option to do anything else or destroy it.
So congratulations on winning.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so I mean, technically we won. We kind of fudged our way to that finish line, but we did it. With 1 hit point. Did it say I still went to prison? Yeah, they find me later and arrest me. Yeah, I did win. Better than that one about the cold. Yeah, that one. And I think it's still an excellent success because I only lost 2 investigators, technically. I didn't lose Lydia. She made it to the end. So, we could put somebody else through this hell later. in the show, but we are going to go ahead and retire Alone Against the Dark to our tome of isolation. This sketchily titled and emblazoned school folder. So that means no matter what you voted, next week we'll probably be looking at we'll definitely be looking at a different story.
Yeah.
Do you want to come back to the chair? I'm asking off camera to John.
I'm actually thinking about going ahead and coming back on for an episode.
Okay.
I think we all enjoy this game. I would love to have a certain, to talk with somebody about guesting.
Okay.
As well in the future. I've got some people in mind who have said that they would love to be involved, and
we do have some of those people.
But yeah.
We didn't even get to finish our pyramid puzzle. If y'all are ever interested, I'll just go through it sometime on a different stream, and we'll just look at we'll read all the entries, because it was kind of cool.
I'm now visible to the chat.
Yes, you are.
Just now.
Yes. So hello.
Yeah.
What?
I thought you'd have to change over the camera. I'm still working with the whole.
Why would I have to change over the camera?
I didn't realize this was the one you're using for the dice. We have somebody going at certain times.
He doesn't. He just doesn't know how I set everything up. I'm a guru.
But so this game, though.
Is that offensive? Sorry if it is. Wasn't thinking about it.
This specific solo mission, I would not say it was bad.
It wasn't bad by any means. It was just a kick in the shorts sometimes.
Yeah. But so this is the first one I've seen that is campaign length.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one I've seen that, honestly, we didn't really have too much of that. Suddenly, we turn to a page and it doesn't match up with where you were previously.
We didn't have any of that like we did, unfortunately, with the Alone Against the Dark ones.
Yeah, well, Alone Against the Dark and the Alone
or not Alone Against the Dark. I'm sorry, with the Dark Eye ones. That's what I meant. This was Alone Against the Dark.
Yeah, the Dark Eye solo missions, we had that too often.
No, this Amanda did comment that it didn't feel circular. You are correct. The one that we did previously, the Call of Cthulhu one, Alone Against the Frost, which was my first one for Tomes of Isolation, way back in May or June. We just kept hitting the same entries over and over and over and over and over again. And this one could have been that way if we'd have refreshed with brand new, no knowledge whatsoever for each character. We operated as though each character, like Professor Grunwald sent Lester Holt information at some point before he got on the boat. Lester got that information, was like, oh, this is weird. I'm going to look into my friend, or I'm going to look into this because I haven't heard anything from my friend. Then we said essentially the same thing for Ernest Holt to Lydia Lau, that he was in somehow contacting her and updating her, and then when she doesn't hear from him for 3 days, that's when she kicks in. So we didn't do a full restart of meta-knowledge for each character, because I feel like entertainment-wise that would have been boring and just over and over the same.
Yeah. I would say that if I were to ever run this for somebody or do something like this, I would almost say, here's a journal, and when your character dies, this journal, whatever information is in that journal goes to the next character you play.
Okay.
Like that is the kickoff point.
Well, and that was something that we had discussed with this show, and we just never really did it. But we had discussed switching out players every time we switched out a character, to kind of have that. But since it was me, I had all that knowledge from firsthand experience, and because I had the notes with me.
Well, that, and by doing the journaling, that would also allow for that meta knowledge.
Sure.
So, just thought. But so chat, what do y'all think? What kind of games we've listed out?
I'm trying to think what we have on the docket. So John does not want to, you did not want to do the Crater Lake Chronicles for you. You were going to leave that for me. That's the Suede one.
Yes, without a doubt.
Now we do have another Cthulhu one called the Lightless Beacon.
Okay, now that one I have in the folder, but is actually not a one-player. It's a solo GM with a one-player.
Well, I mean, I guess I
Um,
could run it for you, but then we wouldn't
I
be isolated.
yeah, I have that one also because that was Stafford when Greg Stafford passed away this last year.
Hmm.
That was written in his honor.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So that's the main reason I got that one.
So it looks like in here we do have what, 4 of the Narnias?
We have the four Narnias.
We have 4 Narnias. We have post-apocalyptic random solo adventure.
Yep.
Rebels of the Drifting City.
Let me pull up the folder too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can tell y'all more about what's actually in there.
You like the mythos. Are there any ones that have more creatures involved? I'm not real sure. There is another, we will say, full disclosure, there is a recent release of, I can't think of the name of it right now, but Chaosium did just recently drop, I believe like last week, dropped a new solo adventure. But John is hesitant to put it on the channel because the opening premise is that you're going to, I believe, New York to pick up the remains of your deceased dog. And that hits a little close to home for us with losing Booker just
Yeah.
2 months ago. So, and we're big softies when it comes to animals. So
Big time.
big softies. So
Okay. So, yeah, we have the Narnia series 1 through 4. It's I was going to use that for a one-off just for like absolute fun because they are at this point near 40 years old. You can find them individually in on Amazon. And they were written as kind of during the whole satanic panic. They were written as kind of a, let's get this out there. It was actually by I think a Baptist book group, and they're like, let's get this out there so that kids have something to do besides role play Dungeons and Dragons.
and it's not Baptist, it's Episcopal.
Episcopal, yeah.
1988 Episcopal Radio TV Foundation. Narnia solo games and all characters and places therein are trademark properties of Episcopal Radio TV. Are they really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have 4 of them. There were... I guess I'm looking at the
If you
4th
try
one.
to find a box set of those 4,
It's like $900.
yeah. But if you buy them individually, because out of the
Supposedly
box,
there were 7.
Oh wow, I've never seen any more.
So, yeah, the order is, from what I can tell, the 4 that we have, which is Return to Deathwater. This is all in the front page of the book. The Return to Deathwater, The Sorceress and the Book of Spells, Leap of the Lion, The Lost Crowns of Cair Paravel, Return of the White Witch, The Magician's Rings, Keeper of the Dreamstone. And these are just over 30 years old.
Yeah.
1988, 1989. So there are 7 of them. We have the first 4, which they actually look, it's definitely different. And they're just scanned, so they're a little clunky.
Yeah, it would take a little bit of work on our part to be ready
Oh,
for
and
them.
tons of reading. It would be a reading one. So,
So there is that.
there's that.
We have. There's a company that has put out this weird solo adventures that they don't fit to any system, except for the person who has created these. Like the one that you see there that's called Post-Apocalyptic. That one was one of them.
Okay.
And it was the one that, out of all the ones that they had, kind of grabbed my attention. Rebels of the Drifting City is a solo adventure that got released for, I think, this last year with Free RPG Day. It was not part of the Free RPG pack, but it was up on Drive-Thru RPG for free.
Oh, okay.
So that one's kind of curious. There is this is kind of interesting. There's a Star Wars Han Solo solo adventure for the old West End Games D6 edition. So we have that. There is a Traveler one I don't really want to do, but I have it anyway.
It's in there. Yeah, because you need a bunch of books to do it.
Yeah. And then there are a whole slew of the 5e ones that are out there. And I think I even found a Tunnels and Trolls.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is a system I know about, but I've never played.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
And so those are the books. But no, what I was actually thinking, because you had brought this up earlier, I was thinking about doing the Seven Seas one that they released about 4 years ago.
Oh, the book one that I
Yeah,
brought up?
yeah.
Okay, we could do that.
I think that would be a fun one.
That's and we can actually show that on screen
Mhm.
because it's actually a video game. It's actually available on Steam for I think $5, and it's essentially a choose your own adventure RPG that is it's just like a book. There's no pictures or anything, so it's a little plain, but it's like swashbuckling and stuff like that. So and it's in the world of Thea.
Yeah,
Is it Thea?
yeah.
Okay.
Not Thetis.
Thetis is Dragon Age. That's where I was like, what is that? But yeah, it's in the world of Thea, and it is a walk through choose your own adventure novel, but it's sold as a Steam game, so we can definitely set that up for next week. And it's definitely different than anything. It showed up by accident. I was looking for a completely unrelated game, but it had island in the name, and it just brought me up a bunch of pirate stuff. So
Yeah, and I know that at least David loves pirates.
David do love some pirates. Um,
Yeah. So I'll do that.
Sorry, yeah, keep talking. I'm looking for something.
I had planned on talking specifically. I'll go ahead and toss this out there because he might still be in chat. For Papin to do the.
Did Papin pop in tonight?
I thought he was in.
Do we have Pap in a box? I
Oh,
didn't
no,
see
he's
him.
not. He's not here now.
Yeah, I didn't see him earlier.
But I was going to talk to him because he would love.
He
to be
would
on the
like
show.
to play this. And honestly, if
And I would give him a
those
run
of
against
you
the Flames with the one I failed.
true, yeah, and those of you that are interested in possibly doing this, if you have a webcam and a reliable internet connection, there is nothing stopping you from being the one in the hot seat and navigating your own Tomes of Isolation. We can provide you with the materials. We will run the production station here, and you will be on camera doing the exact same stuff that I do every week. So if that's something that interests you,
Every week.
it is.
Oh, I know, but I'm just like, it sounds like
It is every week.
the worst.
It would just, I didn't. Somebody's touchy.
Yes.
Go get an ice cream cone.
I will.
Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to cut it a little early. I do have some announcements that I need to go over before we go. And one of those is, yo ho ho, our question?
Yo ho ho R.
Oh. I thought he just like slammed his.
Or yo ho ho R.
He doesn't just love them, he are a pirate.
Ah.
But so announcements. Of course, we had Tomes of Isolation this week. We will be back with that depending on what we choose to do. It sounds like we're going to do some 7th Sea. We'll do that next Tuesday right here at 7 o'clock at twitch.tv/Quiett Gentleman. This episode, if you missed it and you're not here right now and I'm talking to future you that is wanting to watch this on something else, you can either watch the VOD that will be available immediately after I finish here on Twitch, or you can look for it on our YouTube channel. It'll actually be on, we've been uploading these to Passionerdly Podcasts or Passionerdly on YouTube for the time being, but there will be a playlist available on Quiett Gentleman's YouTube. So just look for it. Look for Tomes of Isolation. Will come up. You'll see my face. Or our spooky skull logo. I was going to say skooky skull logo. But so that's this show. Thursday night, be back here at, I'm going to keep it with this channel for now. Thursday night, we'll be back right here at twitch.tv/Quiett Gentleman at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We will be back for I believe, the conclusion of Bunkhouse B, which is a summer camp in the 90s Cthulhu tale that we started weaving 2 weeks ago here with John, Sean, and Matt as 12 to 13-year-old teenage boys in 1991 getting into trouble in summer camp. Innocent hijinks. Nothing bad could go wrong in the forested hills of the Midwest in a river valley. I mean, not really. And then, so that'll be here, and I will be running that game. Hopefully we will wrap up. I actually didn't intend for it to go to 2 sessions, so we're going to see how long it takes. I bet these guys will make enough wiener jokes and jokes about the kid who wants to purify his pee in case he gets stuck out and has to survive. So it could last a full 3 hours, so we'll see. But yeah, come back for that. It's going to be, we had a lot of fun 2 weeks ago when we played it. Let's see. But tomorrow night, if you are available, please, please, please set a timer, set an alarm for, I believe it's 8 p.m. Central until midnight Central. Of course, I know that makes it pretty late for my Central and Eastern folks, but anybody who happens to be watching that is in Mountain or Pacific, I don't care where you are, please, please, we would love for you to tune in at twitch.tv/CFTRPG. So like craft, but without an R and an A in it. So CFT RPG. And that is run by GM Alan. And he has, per request from someone on Twitter, Ellen the GM, I believe Ellen the lesbian GM, had asked him to run a Strahd game. Curse of Strahd, which is a very familiar setting for D&D 5th edition. I believe it is it's an update from an older Ravenloft setting or something in the...
Yeah, Ravenloft was originally a adventure only by the famous married couple, Margaret Weiss and her husband.
Tomorrow night, so we'll be playing Curse of Strahd, but we will not be playing D&D 5th edition. Ellen, the GM, that is not GMing this game, she wanted to play a Swade game. So they are running... or Alan is going to be running Curse of Strahd in Savage Worlds Adventure Edition beginning tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/CFTRPG. If you want to see some cool stuff from the show, go check out my Twitter. I've been sharing things. Go check out CFTRPG. There are links all over the place, and I'll push out some links on my Twitter again tonight. So go to twitter.com/Roowerks, ROOWERKS, which is not on the screen, oddly enough. I guess mine is the only name that I didn't put on the screen. Oops. When I did the new layout. Doesn't matter. You guys know who I am. But yeah, check that out. We're going to have a lot of fun. I have created an alienist in 1890s London who along with two of her patients, gets whisked away in the Barovian mists to Barovia, the world of Ravenloft, and the Castle Strahd and all of that. And so yeah, vampires, how did I say it? Vampire spiders and bats, oh my. My character's name is Copernica Ashdown, and she is, of course, an alienist, which is a kind of a psychologist, profiler, criminal profiler type thing. And we are using specifically the Swade setting for Rippers Resurrected. So if you don't know anything about Rippers, I highly recommend you look into it. It is definitely something that me and my friends would highly enjoy, but it's Victorian horror, Gothic horror, and Rippers are essentially, there are different Ripper factions who have they have developed tech that they kind of blend with themselves. They use parts of monsters. It's kind of gory and grotesque, but when they kill a monster, they take parts of that monster and integrate it into their technology. So you can have like werewolf claws and stuff like that. I'm part of the Masked Crusaders Ripper faction, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're crime fighters. And masked crusaders and vigilantes in London that are investigating crimes and the like. And if you know anything about Victorian lore and urban legends in England, one of the Rippers Resurrected Rippers has brought in a very famous tale that I know I've heard about and Amanda knows about, but the way that they've worked it in is that one of the Crusaders is Spring-Heeled Jack, who is a demonic-themed crime fighter that can leap. And if you don't know anything about Spring-Heeled Jack as far as lore goes, look it up. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. And the stories of him from that time in merry old England. But that'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m., twitch.tv/CFTRPG. I invite all of you to join us there, support the channel, support the show. We're going to have a really good time. We've got a good cast of characters. It'll be me, Ellen Delina, I believe that's her Twitch username, Ellen_Delina, Dalina. We have @TheHussman, Chris Hussey. We have, and Darren, I can't remember his name, but he goes by @GuessI'mSalad on Twitter. And these are all people that we're all part of a different gaming community on another show. We just watch it and are fans and support it. But we've kind of all come together and decided to do this. So please join us for that. That'll be a good time. That's tomorrow, every other Wednesday night beginning tomorrow. But other than that, I think I've rattled on about a bunch of stuff over and over and over again. So if no one has any questions or anything else to add, I'm going to say, throw me a rope so I can get out of this dungeon. And let's get out of the tomes of isolation.